Hi everyone. I think this is working. Hello, hello. I should do the thing where I can see. Hi. Hi everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. I know it's been a while and I wanted to come on here and say hello. And I tried doing the little filter things on my face since I look very undone today. I was doing chores around the house. And those filters that they have on Instagram for the live are very strange. So I have a poor connect. Oh, there I am. I had a poor connection. I'm sorry. So anyways, I wanted to say hi. I wanted to jump on here and say thank you for submitting so many questions. It was tough to go through and decide. I narrowed it down to roughly about 30 questions. I'm going to answer 9 of them, and then I'm going to go through a little fast round with Maddie, where she's gonna quickly ask me some ones that have very quick answers. But I wanted to say thank you for all the support and love recently. Just so you guys know, I was absent from social media because there was a death in my family that I have been dealing with and grieving with my family over. And so it's been a tough time. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for all your love and support over the last couple weeks and concern of me being absent. I had kind of not been on the app at all, and so I didn't even know people were so concerned. And so just so you guys know, I'm here and I'm okay. And it's been weird. We live in a weird world right now with filming under COVID restrictions and during a pandemic. So anyways, I wanted to answer your questions very quickly. And to say thank you for all very delayed thank you for all the birthday wishes. I had an amazing birthday. Unfortunately, the death in my family happened 3 days after that. So it was kind of a mixed bag of emotions. But I wanted to say thank you for all the birthday wishes. I felt very loved on my birthday, and that is all thanks to you, all you. So thank you. I have to stop saying guys. I'm trying to get better at saying thank you guys and saying like thank you everyone. Because I notice I do that a lot. So thank you everyone for all the birthday wishes. And I'm so happy to answer your guys' questions. So I'll make sure, because there was so many, it's hard to go through and list them. So like from the actual app on the phone when I'm live with you guys right now. So what I'm going to do is I actually put them on my computer and I'm going to name who asked the question, and then I'm going to answer it. Oh, and there's so many thank yous. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting. And thank you for joining the CARE conversation yesterday and for joining the Amplify Your Voice conversation that I did a couple weeks. I honestly don't have perception of time. I think it was a couple weeks ago at this point. I don't think it was a month, but it might have been a month. Thank you for being a part of that. You guys had a lot of great CARE questions. So I think I'll start with the CARE question. Someone said, not someone, Nessie, Ness, 3 S's, Inhamatos. Nessie Inhamatos. I don't know if that's a name or just a username. But anyways, you asked I'm sorry if I butchered that. How did you start your work at CARE and what motivated you to do that? I think if you guys have heard the story again, it might be repetitive, but I really would love to get it out there. So season 1 of our show, one of our writers, Angela Harvey, introduced me to CARE and said, would you go to a dinner with Holland, I'm going to butcher Holland's last name, Roden from Teen Wolf. You guys probably know her. She's like, would you go to a dinner with me and Holland? The CARE people are going to be there. The people that work for CARE, Michelle Nunn, they're going to kind of walk through what CARE does, and you can ask questions. And so I went and I asked a million questions, and CARE was willing to answer all of them, and any of them they weren't willing to answer, they were like, we'll get back to you about that. They did get back to me, and then they invited the connection again. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I should make sure that, let's see. I keep going back and forth. They told me, basically they got back to me about all the questions I had, and then invited me to CARE conference in Washington, D.C. Sorry, I keep turning off comments. It gets so distracting that I've learned when I'm trying to talk. Hi. Hi, by the way, Brazil, Argentina. I don't know why I keep having more connections. It's the same internet I always have. But hello, everyone from all of the amazing countries that show so much support for Station 18 and me. I love you all too. Oh, I'm reading your question right now. Nessie. Anyways, I went to DC with CARE. They invited me to DC for their annual conference. I went to DC And when I was there, I didn't know what to expect. And for 3 days, they sit you down and they walk you through all of the issues that are currently going on in the administration and what they specifically are fighting for, why they're fighting for it. They open up the floor to ask all the questions you can ask. And I'm someone that asks a lot of questions. So I went to the DC conference. I asked the questions I needed to ask. I heard about what they were fighting for. And then they asked us, as advocates, to go onto Capitol Hill and talk to our representatives about certain things and certain bills, like I said, that are on the floor. And so that first year we were fighting for IVAWA, which is International Violence Against Women's Act, International Violence Against Women's Act, which we ended up talking to. Actually, my first office I went into was Kamala Harris's office. It wasn't with her, but it was with her aides. And we basically talked to them about where do they stand on this subject when the bill hits the floor, will they support it, and then any questions that they want to ask, because we've kind of been equipped with all the knowledge for it. So I got to do that, and I got to fight for the foreign aid budget, which is kind of always being I don't know, people are always wanting, our administrations are always wanting to lower the budget that's spent on foreign aid. So then we fight for that as well. So I got to go to DC and do that and really use my voice. And that's how it started. And it's just grown since then because they've allowed me to be so hands-on, which unfortunately is not what a lot of organizations do. A lot of organizations, I was meeting with a ton before I joined CARE, and a ton of them were, yes, we want your help, but like they didn't want to engage. They didn't tell me what was really going on. They didn't speak of the actual issues there. They couldn't. There wasn't a ton of transparency. So anyways, long story short, that's how I started my work with CARE. And that's what I was motivated by, was the fact that they gave me the tools, which is something they do in all the countries, which they work in over 100 countries, is what they do is they give the tools to the people on the ground, and they ask them, what do you need? And then they give them those tools. Like, they go there, they say, what is it this community needs? And when I went to Zambia, they asked, and what the community need was help with the education process. They just didn't have the tools, they didn't have the means, they didn't have the structures, and that's what they needed. And so CARE said, okay, we'll allocate these many funds, or this amount of funds, to help work on the education curriculum and what's needed to actually progress the education there in Zambia. So anyways, it's been amazing with CARE, and I continue to work with CARE because I've seen firsthand the work they do, and they've never shied away from a single question that I've asked. And like I said, I ask a lot of questions, as if you guys watch the Amplify Your Voice, Jonathan can attest to. I'm always coming up, they'll give a huge speech, and then I come up with a million more questions. So anyways, that was my first answer to Nessie's question. Second up is from Liza_Grace_17. She said, the biggest factor and inspiration for you when wanting to start a journey with CARE. These are all gonna kind of play into each other. The biggest factor was that I was able to be hands-on. I was absolutely able to do something, not just put my name on something, which maybe that's the best way to put it. Is a lot of other organizations that I met with basically were like, well, just put your name on it and say you support us. And I'm like, but what am I supporting? Like, what work are you doing? I know that you have a great name, or I've seen the track record of what you've done, but what are you currently working on? And I felt like either no one wanted to sit down and have those conversations, or they didn't have the answers. And so that was probably the biggest factor, was that they gave me the tools to actually feel like I was making an impact. They didn't ask for a blank check to support something. They didn't ask for me to just put my name on something blindly. CARE actually allowed me to take part and to be passionate about what I was taking part in. And as I think you guys know, I'm extremely passionate about CARE. Next up was DPHN_. Asked me a question. Tell us more about the trip you made for CARE. So never has it worked out in the 3 years now that I've been with CARE. I constantly am wanting to go on, sorry guys. I'm constantly wanting to go on one of the learning tours with them, or they're called something, one of the journeys with them. And I never got the opportunity. My phone's gonna die. I didn't prepare properly. and I had never gotten the opportunity because of work. The schedule never worked out. And last season, a spot had opened up on a trip. They had an opening. They said, would you be interested in going to Zambia? I said, send me the material. What work are you guys doing in Zambia? The dates worked out. And I don't know if you guys remember last year, I went to the Maldives with Barrett and Alicia. I got back from the Maldives, immediately went to DC, and then immediately after DC left to go to Zambia. And immediately after Zambia, I got back a day before our table read for last season's table read for last season's episode. Last season's first episode. So it was a very tight schedule, but I was so happy to be able to finally do it because I'd been asking to go on one of these. And when I read up on what they were doing there, it was something I was, especially when it pertained to children and education. And as everyone knows, a lot of what CARE does is empowering women and girls. So I really wanted to go. I'm so happy I got to go. And I think if you guys heard me say yesterday, it was really amazing to see the biggest thing a lot of these places needed were just structures to actually be able to teach in, curriculums that were formulated so that they could teach the children, and then sanitary stations for young girls that just weren't there. There wasn't the protective services, and even something like the lights at night, they didn't have lights. So these communities were basically communities that surrounded the schools, and the communities felt like they needed protection in general to be able to feel safe going to school. And so that was making sure there's certain pathways to the school, making sure there's proper lighting if it gets dark, when they're coming home from school. The only thing that was still not fully addressed was transportation to and from school, which was a big topic that I ended up bringing up, and I hope that that eventually is something that can be fixed as well. Obviously, more money has to be filtered into it, but some connection. Sorry, everyone, I keep losing connection. So anyways, transportation was the one thing that still I feel like for the most part, most of the community was right there around the school, but some kids did have to travel in, and it was a far trip. And so that was something that they were still working on. So that was my trip with CARE. And I don't know if you guys saw the pictures or when I went, it was an amazing experience. If I don't have a highlight up there, I'll work with Maddie and we'll get a highlight up there of the actual trip. And the video that CARE and I worked together, Maddie came with me and filmed the entire thing. And CARE, Maddie, and I edited together a piece that CARE used, and it basically sums up the entire trip. So I'll post that as well. I love all the CARE questions, by the way. And then DI_OLVER, DI Oliver, asked me, why did you choose CARE specifically? Because there are so many organizations out there. I think a big part of that is, like I said earlier, I did meet with a bunch of other organizations because I knew I wanted to start. I knew I had now the platform and I wanted to start working with an organization, and no one was as transparent or willing to give me the tools to do work myself. Like I said, a lot of people just wanted me, and they're great great organizations that I met with that I do believe in, but I felt like they weren't allowing me to do enough. They just wanted me to put my name out there or write a blank check. And I just felt like there was so much more I could do on top of that. And with CARE, I do everything. I donate, I put my name on it, and I'm able to do a lot of work with them that makes me feel like I'm actually playing a part. So that was why I chose CARE. But there are a ton of other amazing organizations out there. I was actually thinking that'd be a great thing is for everyone to kind of, in stories, if you want to tag me, post the organizations that you support and love. Just, I think, to get the word out there about organizations that I don't even know about, because there are so many amazing ones out there. So those are the CARE questions. And then now to go to Station 19 questions. How are you feeling being back on set? Sorry, I forgot who say that was from. Lozinari, Lozinary. She asked, how are you feeling back on set? And she said, I love you. I love you too. I am feeling amazing being on set. I'm grateful that I'm able to work in a profession that right now a lot of productions are down, and a lot of new productions are not being back up. So I am very happy to be back on set and to be back with the whole Station 19 crew. So yes, that's a very quick, I'm just happy. I'm happy and I'm grateful to be working and to be back on set and to get to play Maya, and that we're going to be on your screens again very soon. I loved this name. Cucking_Frazee said, what precautions are being taken while shooting And by the way, love you and Stefania together. I love me and Stefania together too. There is some insane precautions. Basically, we are being tested 3 times a week, face shields, face masks, and some of those face masks are worn in scenes. Sometimes they are not. Obviously, 6 feet separation, very minimal talking, no hugging, a lot of strict, valid, strict rules that are in place to make sure that we can continue production. Episodes are taking longer to shoot. We're currently shooting multiple episodes at the same time right now, which has been very confusing. And I'm trying to think what other precautions. A lot of hand sanitizer and hand spray. There are specific people on set that are COVID health officials that are making sure everyone's abiding by those rules. So ABC and Disney have done an amazing job of making us all feel very safe and protected in our work environment. And I think under these precautions, we will be able to not have to shut down production, as in no one will get COVID because there are such strict rules. And that's all we want, is to be able to work and to be able to deliver an amazing show for you guys this fall. And I think we are on track to do that, and hopefully nothing ends up, changing that. So very tight restrictions. I think I'm allowed to say the stuff I said. I hope I was. If not, I just got in trouble. Faria Sabrina, Faria Sabrina, asked, a scene you'll never forget. I thought this was a great question. You guys asked so many great questions that I'd never been asked before. And a scene I'll never forget was the scene where all of us climbed on top of the back of the engine to comfort Barrett, Vic Hughes in the show. Was a scene I'll never forget. I think it was a scene that's very much reality too, for obviously, not having to have the passing of Ripley in real life, but the whole cast is so close, and we do feel like family, and that felt like a very, it was a very powerful scene where all of us were together as a family, and there was no word spoken, and it was a scene that I'll never forget. It was fun to shoot, or it was emotional. I would just say fun is the word. It was moving to shoot. It was a dramatic scene, and it was one that I'll never forget. It was interesting. I read this question, and there's a ton of millions of other scenes that we've done. Maybe not millions. We haven't done millions yet, but a ton of other scenes that we've shot that I absolutely love and I'll never forget. But that one, for some reason, just really sticks in my head very vividly as a scene that I really, really, really loved shooting. Arizona's Monkey asked, what's the first thing you always do when you arrive on set? So we have very strict schedules. So basically, if your call time is, say, 7 a.m., and you get there at 7 a.m., you're being asked at 7 a.m. to get hair and makeup. And so you've got to think that there's usually you want to get there earlier. So I try to get there usually 30 minutes prior to I usually bring my laptop and my stuff with me to have in my trailer in case there's downtime. I usually bring my lunch, whatever I decide to make for lunch that day. And so I bring that, I put that in my trailer. I kind of decompress for a second, and then they ask me to hair and makeup. But usually if you get there right at your call time, that's hair and makeup immediately. That's, immediately there's a knock on your door, or if you're walking to your trailer from your car, and it's 7, they're asking okay, just put your stuff down and end up in hair and makeup. They're ready for you in hair and makeup. So that's usually the first thing I do when I get on set, but I try to get there early so I can kind of decompress a little bit, because sometimes it can be a very much hurry up and wait as you get there, and you rush and rush and rush and rush, and then you sit around. And so I try to just breathe and go through that a little bit slower. Chantel Chapman asked an amazing question. She said, I have a question. How do you always look so happy? I struggle sometimes. So do I. We all do. I really loved this question, and I wanted to be honest about this question. Of course, there's a poor connection right when I start answering this. It's one of those things that, I have a smile, it feels like plastered on my face. But like I said, I took a little break from Instagram because I needed to grieve for the loss of my family. There's always hardships. I'm a human being that has insecurities too. And it's going to keep doing that now. It's pausing. I don't know if you guys are seeing that like I am. I wish there was a reason I could figure out why it's breaking up on connection. But Yeah, I mean, I look always happy. I'm always smiling. My nickname is Sunshine, but that doesn't change the fact that um, that I have tough days that I've learned over the years. I would say for anyone that's really young, like I had a really tough time from like 15 to 25. Like it was a good 10 years where I struggled with a lot of things, from insecurity to just purpose in life. There's so many things from, yeah, those 10 years. And I still haven't figured it out. I mean, I think what you realize too as you get older is you still don't have all the answers. You wish you did. You look up to people and you're always like, they have all the answers. They figured it out. And maybe some of you guys look at me that way and I don't. Life is a constantly evolving process as we are humans. And so I do have days when it's tougher than others, but I do wake up and I do make that choice every morning and that's been years of therapy and reading books. There's an amazing book called Self-Compassion, which was a big one for me because I think I put a lot of pressure, sometimes too much pressure, and beat myself up about things too much. So Self-Compassion was an amazing book by Kristen. I'm gonna butcher, Neff is her last name. It was amazing. But I wake up every morning, and if I'm having an off day, I try to meditate. I try to have things in my life that make me happy. As you guys know, some of that's chocolate. It's not always the best thing. Or some of that is just taking some time for myself. I have the little breathe app on my Apple Watch, which helps too. Even just breathing for a minute, like a breathing exercise for a minute helps. But yeah, I have tough days a lot of the time. But I really do have to consciously make that choice every morning to be like, okay, I'm going to be happy for this. I'm going to be happy for that. And I am surrounded by, as you get older too, you start realizing the people you surround yourself with is really important too. And I've made some very, difficult choices over the years to end some friendships, and to make sure that I'm surrounded by people that really support me and that I support them, and it goes back and forth. So I really love that question, and that I could be completely honest with you. And I hope that when you say you struggle sometimes, know that I do too, that a lot of people do. You're not alone, but find those people in your life that you can rely on, and find the little things you love. I know that's easier said than done, but like sometimes it's like a certain playlist that I love listening to music wise that'll just make me happy, or calling up a friend and like, tell me a joke. I love you, I need a joke right now. Or certain friends that just make you laugh. You'll find your things, whatever they are. They won't be necessarily what makes me happy, but just know that you're not alone, and that even though I'm smiling all the time, I do have my own internal struggles. And yeah, so I loved that question, Chantel Chapman. Thank you for asking it and for being so vulnerable. I hope that this helped you. Okay, I'm gonna bring on Maddie to ask me some rapid fire questions, because so many of your questions were so great that I couldn't just let these go. But these ones have very quick, like I'll be able to answer like yes, no, or something, or whatever could be a really quick answer. So I'm gonna bring on Maddie. Wherever she is. Maddie, are you even on here? I think I can type in, right? There she is. And while Maddie's connecting right now, I also wanted to say thank you to everyone that supported the BLM stream, the auction that we did. And it was so amazing talking to Caitlin and talking to Taylor. Oh, Maddie, I hear you.
Can you see me?
I can't see you, but I can hear you.
You cannot?
I cannot.
What the heck?
It just says waiting for Maddie. I might have to try and do it again.
Do you want me to leave and then
Hi, Caitlin. Yeah, leave it. Oh, here, I'll cancel this. There we go. Well, I think I just canceled the app before I told her that I was going to cancel, and I'll bring her back on. Hi, Caitlin. It's nice to see you on here. It was great talking with you. And Taylor, if you're on here too, it was great talking with you as well. Let's see if I can bring Maddie on. You can see her. Oh, great. Just something's going on with my Wi-Fi today, guys. Not guys. Something's going on with my Wi-Fi today. Well, now I can't bring anyone on. What's going on here? Why is technology not my friend? Let's see. Let's see if I do this and do this and do this. Maddie, I can't even click. It's doing that thing where I can't even click the button now. Okay, let's see. I have the questions. Maybe I'll just have to do the fire round myself. What happened? Technology. It's such a pain in the butt sometimes. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know why it does that. I sometimes wonder if what's going on with my internet today. Okay, oh wait. You would think that this would get easier. Maddie, I can't click on the button that even shows the people at the bottom of the screen, the icon. Hold on one second. I am going to check my internet connection. It's going to pause me for a second. I'll be right back. It makes no sense. I'm connected to the proper internet. Boo. Maddie, should I just ask? What do you guys think? Should I just ask myself the fast round questions or should I sign off and sign back on? I know it says I have poor connection. Someone just said that too, but I'm connected to my main internet, which I normally have never had any issues with. What do you think? Ask them myself or have Maddie ask them for me? What do you think? Boy. Oh, technology. Just ask myself. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm gonna ask myself these questions. Let's see, I gotta go to them. Where are they? Where are they? Here they are. Okay. Maddie, I'll try one more time. Maddie goes, you don't need me. I do need you, Maddie. Okay, here we go. Asking questions. I'll say who it's from. It probably won't be as fast as if Maddie did it, but I'm gonna do my best. From Sadia Congelado, SAADI dot or period CONGELADOS. She said, today is Bi Visibility Day. How do you think Maya would commemorate today? Lots of making out with Stefania. Do you have a fan mail or can we send you gifts to the studios where you're filming Station 19? I've gotten a lot of questions. Actually, this isn't even a fast round question answer. The best thing you can do is donate to a cause. You guys, I am so lucky. I have everything I could ever want in life, and you guys sending messages and birthday wishes and texts and your love and support is all I need. Like every time I get this question, you guys always have the address or sending it to the show is always great, but just know too that the best thing I think, or the thing that would make the biggest impact in the world, is to donate to a cause you really believe in, and just let me know or post about it in your stories and I'll repost it, where the real changes can be made. So yes, that was thinking that was something that could be done. She said Stefania. I know, I get that. I mess that up a lot. Okay, is it hard? Here we go again. ITSTAAMS, you asked, is it hard keeping 6 feet from Stefania on set? Yes. Dreams full of travel. Great name. Are you going to direct an episode one day? I hope so. I have to go through a lot of things and do a lot of things, but maybe by season 5. That might be wishful thinking, but yes, trying my hardest. Gabby Fernandez, but it's shortened. What was your favorite thing to do in the past few months? Travel the United States. That going back to when someone asked about happiness, that was a huge, get out with nature is a big one for me too. Being out with nature, I needed to get out with nature and to see places I'd never been before, and to go to national parks and see the beauty that Mother Nature has. So that was my favorite thing, was to go on that RV trip. Savre period anatomy asked, does Karina punch Jack in the face? That would be awesome. That would be amazing. I hope so. I haven't read that script if it's written yet, but that would be amazing. D_land_landum. 08 asks, when is the release of season 4? November 12th? I hope, right? Okay, November 12th? I said it out loud and then I was like, it's November 12th, right? There's a lot of things happening in November. World 101, Words 101 asked, Care, this is a care question. Does the money go straight to the community? And then a care question and a station question. Care question, does the money go straight to the community? Yes, Care has a ton of transparency. If you go to their website, they actually have a link that allows you to see where the money is spent. If you ever have any question, you can reach out, email them. They will answer it. Like I said, they answer all my questions. Station 19 question, do Karina and Maya kiss? Maybe. I can't give away any spoilers. It's probably too soon to ask. Oh, sorry. Station with a 3 N's _19 asked, it's probably too soon to ask, but are you hoping for Maya and Karina to have a baby? That would be awesome. I might have said that a little too loudly. That would be awesome. That would be so cool to see us have a baby. That'd be so cool. So that would be awesome. I don't think that's going to be anytime soon. Like you said, that's probably too soon, but that would be really cool down the line. I would love that. I have no say though. Real Panda Unicorn. Great name too. Real Panda Unicorn. Is Maya going to meet Andrew DeLuca and will we see her brother Mason again? I hope so. I hope so on both. I hope I get to meet Andrew DeLuca on the show and I hope that my brother comes back and we have those storylines. I'm sure it eventually will happen in the history as the show continues. I just don't know when. Well, Andy and Any George 28 asked, will Andy and Maya ever get back to how they were friendship wise? Love you, heart. Love you too. Heart back. I hope so. I really missed the friendship and that fun banter they used to have season 1 specifically and majority of season 2. I really enjoyed those scenes with Jaina, and I really enjoyed the relationship Andy and Maya had. I don't know if it'll ever be the way it was because so much has happened, but I would love to go back and to see if they can work through their issues and you know, mend that friendship. I would love that. So I hope so. A lot of these are I hope so's because I don't know much. I wish I did. I just show up to set and they tell me what to say. So next question, I'm not doing as good a job as Maddie would have done as at the fast round. UN Cafe Con Stefania. UNCAFFECON Stefania asked, I'm butchering all of these. I'm sorry. Danny on a trip. Danny on a trip. Where would you take Stefania? Oh my gosh. I would force Stefania to take me to Sicily because I really want to go, and that's where she's from. That's where her family is, and I would love to see Sicily. So actually, it wouldn't be where I would take Stefania. I would have Stefania take me to Sicily. And I think I might have to ask her that. Do you meditate? Yes, I do. Like I said earlier, I do meditate. I think it's extremely important for your mental health. For me, at least. Again, everyone has their own thing, but for me, meditation works really, really well. I use the Calm app. If you guys just search Calm, it's great. It's even great for sleeping because sometimes my mind will be running at night and I can't shut it off. I don't know if you guys ever feel like that, or you toss and turn, or I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't go back to sleep. And they have some great sleep ones too on there that really help you go to sleep. Maddie wants to go together for her next trip. Deal. But yes, I do meditate. Calm app, great app. Next question. I'm sorry, I'm not very fast at these. What do you miss? Oh, question. Isabel Avaz, ISABELABVAZ asked, what do you miss most about the pre-COVID set routine hugs? I miss hugs so much. And it was bad. I mean, there's no such thing as good timing when someone passes away, but it was pretty crazy that we started filming and I was reeling from a death and I couldn't hug anyone. It was hard. It was really hard. And it's still really, 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 really hard. I want to hug everyone. So I miss hugging the most. I mean, everything else we've been able to do. We still get to laugh at a 6 feet distance and do our job. But I do miss hugging a lot. Savory Anatomy asked, do we get a scene with Andy, Maya, Vic, and Stefania? I know that Barrett and I have specifically asked for scenes with all the women in them. I don't know if I'm hoping it's going to happen this season. I've told they want it to happen. I don't know what context it'll be in, but fingers crossed, because all 4 women together is like power, in my opinion. So I would love a scene with just all 4 women, would be badass. And I hope that one day we get that. Arizona's Monkey asked, what has been the most heartbreaking storyline? We've had a lot, as you guys all know, whether it was Ripley or Ryan, Tanner, or Miguel, the one that is the most heartbreaking to me. I don't know why I was flipping on that one. But Miguel, Captain Pruitt, that's my issue. It's hard for me to switch back and forth between character names and real names. But losing Captain Pruitt and Miguel off the show was those tears that it was rough, because he felt like he was a leader on our set too. Like, I don't know, like he was Miguel, and it felt very weird to kind of lose him off the show. Ripley was a little different because we knew when he came in he was going. Sadly, fans didn't know that watching the show. It's like that just tore at you guys' heartstrings. But we had been told pretty early on that what was going to happen with his character. So we kind of knew. Ryan was shocking, but we found out during hiatus. And Miguel's, we always knew was eventually going to happen, but it felt like it just kept drawing. Like they drew it out and drew it out and drew it out. And so when it finally happened, we were kind of hoping it was that thing that would never happen. We were just procrastinating the inevitable. So that was the most heartbreaking. I'm really bad at answering the fast round questions fast. Gabby1316 asks, has COVID changed the way you're able to get chocolate from craft services? Yes, I can't get it from craft services. Luckily, Greg and Leilani, who run craft services, have actually snuck, they'll give me like Ziploc baggies of candy in my trailer because they know how much I love it. And if I'm having a tough day, I will dig into my chocolate bag. But I try to keep it for special occasions. I can't abuse it anymore because I can't just go to the craft service truck and get more chocolate. We're not allowed to do that anymore. Amanda Tarino. Ooh, I might have gotten that right. Amanda Tarino, but it's Tarjino. Asks, any possibility we see Karina speak in Italian or Maya learning to speak Italian? As you guys know, I tried to learn Italian during the break, during hiatus. I failed. I think I got it through like round 1, and I just basically know the generic words. I think if you heard recently, one of the lives me and Stefania did, she got mad at me because I still don't know how to say piacere. It's pleasure, but I can't say it properly. And it's been like 3 years. So I would love a scene where Karina is speaking Italian or I'm learning to speak Italian in the show. Stefania absolutely says a lot of Italian words to me on camera that aren't scripted, that I absolutely love when she says. And I'm always like, what are you saying to me? And it's usually kiss me. So I would love it if that was the scene. Like if there was a funny little scene of her trying to get me to learn some Italian, that would be awesome. Or maybe, I don't know. So many ideas in my head now. Underscore ATEKE underscore asked, how much of your lines are scripted? For me, not all of my lines are scripted. I'm very on book. I very much need to know what I'm saying that day. And I very much like to say exactly what's scripted. We have amazing, brilliant writers. And I feel like as an actor, it's a respect thing to say the words that they've written. If we ever have issues with a scene or something our character's doing, we usually have time after the table read to ask the writers, I think, why would my character be doing this, or any questions you might have, or if something wording wise doesn't work for you, you have time to do that before we shoot the scene after the table read. But for me, I really try to take what's written. I really try to take what's given to me in the script and make the most out of it, because I could never say, as you guys know, I stumble over what I say a lot of the time. I talk too fast. My brain goes faster than my mouth can keep up with. It's something I do. And so I could never say the things that they've written for Maya. I would think them. I'd want to be able to say them. I think that's why I love playing Maya so much, but I wouldn't actually be able to verbalize the way she can verbalize. One day maybe. But in the meantime, I follow the words to the T. And the only things that I know that are kind of added, like I said, are when Stefania at the end of a scene, they usually roll a lot of the scenes with Stefania and I. They don't say cut right away. So me and Stefania will be doing a scene and, it ends with us, super close or kissing and they just keep rolling. They don't say cut. And then that's when Stefania usually adds in some Italian, or she's very good at ad-libbing little things there at the end, and then I'll usually respond. And so those are the only times that things are kind of added, but for the most part, for me specifically, everything is scripted. And the writers are amazing. Faria Sabrina, Faria, I think we've had you before, Sabrina said, do you do anything specific before filming, like to prepare yourself? Lots of breathing. So I always get nervous. I get nervous before lives. I got nervous yesterday before the care event. I get nervous constantly. Like, just know that if you feel nervous, everyone's nervous. And then I talked to people at care after that interview that I talked for like 2 minutes, and they were like, we get nervous. So even before filming, someone told me a long time ago, someone that I really look up to, that if you stop getting nervous before auditions or before work in the job we do, then something's wrong. Maybe you've lost the passion for that, even just maybe that role or that certain project or whatever it is, because there should always be a little bit, because your body also, I've been told, doesn't know the difference between excitement and nervousness. And so you should always feel a little bit of those butterflies in your stomach. I believe, I don't know if everyone agrees with that, before something of importance that you're about to do. And I really put a lot of importance in my job. I love my job. And so before every take, I do get a little nervous. And so they usually do little clappers where they, slate the scene, and they ask if the cameras are set, and they make sure that sound is rolling. And in those 15 seconds, I take a lot of breaths right before a scene, which I should maybe start doing before lives and before a lot of big, interviews, because sometimes you just need to take a couple breaths and to recenter yourself. Specifically me, like I said, because I go 100 miles an hour. So that is what I would say I do specifically before filming. In regards to preparing for the scene, because you said like to prepare yourself, before, I just study my lines a ton and different ways that they can be played. If it's scenes with certain actors that like to run lines before, like Stefania and I love to run our scenes before. We'll run our scenes before, days before we actually shoot those scenes, to really kind of get all the cobwebs out and figure out what's the best way to do this scene, or how do we want to do the scene? Because a scene can be played multiple different ways, even though it's written one specific way. So yeah, so that was my very not fast round. So I hope you liked it. Maybe I would have been just as slow if Maddie had asked him to. I'm gonna just go through. I wanted to say thank you again. Oh, today is Gray Damon's birthday. If you haven't already, please send him your birthday wishes. He's probably mad at me right now for telling everyone. It's public knowledge, but Gray is amazing. It is his birthday, and I think you all should go and wish him happy birthday if you can. And yes, what else? I think that's everything. Thank you so much for tuning into the live, and I'll see you guys soon. I won't be doing as many lives until once we start airing. There's just a lot going on that I need to deal with, and I need to spend some time with family right now. So I'll be doing that. But for sure, right before we start filming November 12th, I will make sure to do some lives. And of course, there will be future lives with Stefania and I. We would not have future lives with Stefania and I. So look forward to those as well. And thank you for your continued support. I love you all. I hope it's not too late for everyone. I tried to get on here earlier, but today was one of those days that like a million things started piling up. So I wanted to say thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry if it's the middle of the morning for most of you guys. I think that's it. Thank you for all your love and support, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah. Bye, everyone.